but that thing that the team had become a little bit of a joke, you know, and the international team had been criticised and compared to other teams, etc. Does this week feel like a change in that, and a timely sort of change in that?
Yeah, look, we've all enjoyed the success of the Irish teams in whatever sports. I mean, the rugby team over the last number of years under the various coaches, and Joe Smith and all brilliant stuff he did, and Andy Farrell, and we had it with the athletics over the summer, some fantastic achievements. And we've enjoyed the games to a degree, and turnarounds and all Ireland finals and all that. But there is nothing like that has the same effect, I think, on the nation as our international football team playing in the game that 230 nations around the world are striving to get to the World Cup. When our national football team is in action and there's passion going around building up to the game, as it was at the game Portugal and Thursday night, and I said that even the fact that Armenia didn't take a point off Hungary, it didn't burst the balloon before the match. It was still great anticipation in the stadium, probably like there hasn't been for many, many years. And we got success, and there was a buzz, and at the end of the match the crowd weren't leaving, the players had a bit of a walk around the pitch. What impressed me was the attitude of Heimer, Paddy McCarthy and John O'Shea, and I met 2 out of 3 of them at the game, and they were very almost stoic in terms of saying, that's half the job done, we have another job to do. There wasn't any wild celebration. I think they got the players back down to earth very quickly. Today there was an anticipation around the country. A 2 o'clock game didn't suit everybody in terms of everybody watching, but I'm sure
there's no holy hour anymore.
I'm sure there was millions in touch with it today, and now they're all joyous. People will be waiting on the draw. People are back interested. Troy Parrott is a hero. 5 goals. He had 5 goals before today. Yeah. I think in 31 appearances or before Thursday night. Now he's 5 and 2. It's an incredible story, but the story of today's game have to be analysed in more detail and more analytically. But you have to say they did it right. They got there. They found a way. 2-1 down. They found a way. Festi's long throw-ins weren't working, but eventually they built it up slow, went from back to front. Finn Azaz played 2 great balls, and we nearly got the third goal before we got the third goal with the shot from young Johnny Kenny coming in making his debut. But eventually it was a long ball, and Scales gets a header, who must have been out on his feet nearly after the effort he put in the first game. But a good decision by the manager. He took off Jake O'Brien and left Scales on. I thought maybe not the right decision, but it turned out to be right. He gets the flick on, and Troy Parrott miraculously is there to touch it into the net. Fabulous.
Jeff, what about from the physical side, like Liam Scales there, the 96th minute after 2 games in 4 or 5 days, that turnaround, the travel, like how much guts and character and just physical effort would that have taken from the players to pull that out of the bag today?
Yeah, massive amounts. It took so much out of them on Thursday, when just the concentration they needed to keep sending Portugal wide, and just the work rate, the talk and communication, everything, to then come back around the next day, be level-headed going into such a big game. And with the fly, I believe they were on the plane for a long time before they took off as well. So that wouldn't have been ideal, and their main focus was being as well as they could going into this game. But you think of fatigue or anything like that. For me, I remember playing these sort of games, and once the game starts, you have that butterflies, the adrenaline's running through your body, and you forget about how tired you are or stiff, or if you have a knock or anything, you're fully focused on the game. But I'm sure there were parts during the game, players were tired or the sub was coming on. We've all done it, and you look to the side and you think, is it going to be me? But, fair play to him, like Scales, he's to go up, and I like that he went up into the box and he wasn't just making up the numbers. He went and attacked the ball and kept it alive. So, it would have been difficult at times for him to pick himself up, whether he's made a tackle or a long busting run back. But I think that the rewards are there for everyone to see, like to get the goal and lift them up. They can all be tired now on the plane home.
Well, the thing is now, Brian, I would probably like it to be next week. The momentum. So we've got to wait till March now. The draw will be next Thursday. It's still a lot unclear about the teams that are going to be in, because confirmed playoff teams are only Albania, Czech Republic and Ireland at this stage. And then you have the 4 Nations League teams that will be, whatever happens, Romania, Sweden, Northern Ireland and one of North Macedonia, Wales. There's a whole plethora of names you can throw in there. You know, after that, Slovakia, perhaps, maybe Scotland, Italy, almost certainly, perhaps Poland, Turkey, Kosovo, Iceland, Ukraine. You know, there's names like that. What's, I mean, until we know, we don't know who we're going to get. But what needs to happen between now and then? Is it just about players keeping in form, or is there a positivity there that Ireland can face anybody with confidence after what they've done this week?
Well, out of the teams that will be in it, I think Ireland can face them with reasonable levels of confidence. Anyone that finishes second in the group will be a decent side, but not necessarily of the top rate. Italy are the one, I would say, be very disappointed finishing second place. Norway winning that group in very impressive form. But I think these few results, and even the results going back to Bulgaria, will have given the squad confidence. I give the staff confidence. How we play, I think there's a benchmark for how we played today was a bit different than the other night against Portugal. Because we lost the goal so early in the game today, we had to take the game to Hungary a bit. And we did for a while, got the equaliser, earned the penalty, scored the try. Parrott took it very well. And then we lose the goal again the first half. So, you know, our approach couldn't be sit deep, backs to the wall, hang in. We were forced into that for a lot. It took us time to get rhythm in the second half of the game. But then we had to take the game to them and eventually got the rewards with a couple of very clever passes forward, as I said, from Finland, that put Pride through to score on the equaliser, and also the one for Johnny Kenny. So it was a mixture of our set-piece game, direct approach, the stuff we showed the other night after the match in terms of the accuracy of the balls from the back to front. It was a mixture of all that and the battling qualities and the never say die attitude. So what can happen over the next while? Well, some of the players who are unfit can be fit. Ferguson, obviously, Ferguson, for, you know, a key player, missed out on this. The likes of Smallbone, Sammy Smodics got a bit of stick for missing matches, but I thought it was very unfair. He's a very committed player, and there's a few others who have been unfit. What happens with Seamus over the next while?
We squeeze another few months out of Seamus.
So there's a lot of good things can happen. It can hardly get much worse in terms of losing players. We know we've got lots of options out the back, centre-back positions, and even Andrew Omabama-Daly not on the pitch, or another centre-back who could do a very good job. And then around the middle, we might get a little bit better with some of those players coming back to fitness. Yeah. So lots of hope for us when that draw is made. Whoever we get, I wouldn't like us to get Italy, mind you, but out of the rest, there'll be a lot of difficult matches, but certainly hope for us.
And just a reminder, it's next Thursday, the draw. 16 teams will go into it. You'll play a semi-final against one team and then it'll be straight into a final against another team. So 16 will be down to 4. So still a bit to go, but we can dare to dream.